talking today about design for the Suzhou Tower. I'm representing Gensler. I'm supposed to have that presentation with Jun Sha. He's unfortunately at another place, so I will represent Gensler as the main consultant for the Suzhou Tower. On today's presentation, I would like to take you through the journey from very beginning to current stage of the design. Designing of a building like that is like a journey. Current design is a result of the competition which Gensler entered and won by 2012. Gensler entered competition with four different schemes: rockery, bacon, water, and bamboo. At that point, we competed with 5 additional competitors. Eventually, the shortlisted with 3 companies were shortlisted, and Gensler was asked to develop further the water concept. This animation shows winning entry by Gensler. After the first round of the negotiations, Gensler was asked to develop further the water concept and won the competition with that concept. The final concept was presented to the client. Our client is Zhongnan investment group, and contract was signed by end of February 2013, and that's when Gensler worked on the project study. First, I would like to say a little bit about location and context of the building. Suzhou is very well known ancient city of China around the world. The old city of China is located here. Our building and site of the building is the area I'm showing right now, located very close at the shores of Jinji Lake. As you probably know, Suzhou is being known as the Venice of the East, with city canals and also beautiful classical gardens. The city is very popular as a tourist destination in China. Currently, Suzhou expanded its population to around 10 million people, so it's becoming contemporary, modern, very industrial city with connection to the ancient center of the Suzhou. Our building is located at the southwest of the Suzhou Center and Gate of Orient in industrial city. It's called Central Business District of the Suzhou. Approximate area for the site is 16,500 square meters. The building itself is approximately 500,000 square meters with 375,000 square meters above the ground. This part of presentation will focus on evolution of the form, which was triggered by many factors during the design process. In short, from the very first concept through several stages of the design process, we eventually end up with the tower, which looks like that right now. Initial design was based on the program, which included big office component, 2 hotels, Ritz-Carlton 5 and 4-star hotels, and just 2 zones of the apartment. That program, together with additional major factors, which is structural stability and site planning, basically dictated first shape of the building. What I mean by that is the site is very tight, therefore only 70 meters of the span was allowed for the tower. Taking that together with the structural requirement for stability, which was 1/8, created the silhouette of the building. Original geometry, the first geometry based on the program I just showed you, was very simple. Just one simple circle and another one intersecting each other created the building massing, the skin of the building. And then we started refining, throughout the design process, we started refining that building. The input of design process mostly was obviously architectural input about aesthetics, metalwork, but also the programmatic variety and structural input, wind engineering, facade, vertical transportation, fire life safety, evacuation, crown design. Projects like that, mega tall project every project faces challenges. Mega tall towers may face especially high challenges, and some of them are listed here. Diversity of the program is the challenge. Economics is the challenge. Of course, the height of the building is the challenge. For us, code, performance of the building, sustainability, technology, but also constructability of that building is a challenge. All the above eventually, streamline into the final result, which is not only significant architectural landmark, but we also want to consider this as a business model for vertical community. By that time, geometry, through all that refinement, has been changed to respond to all the challenges and programmatic diversity. And instead of simple circle like I showed in the beginning, suddenly geometry was generated with 3 tangent different circles, which responded to area reduction at the bottom, to area increase at the top, and also aesthetics and program for the top of the building. And that's where we are right now with the program and with the Suzhou Tower. As you can see, the program significantly changed. The biggest component right now is 4 zones of apartments, 2 zones only for 1 hotel, 7-star, by the way, not 5, Ritz hotels, only 2 zones of the office, and conference retail at the bottom, with observation deck at the top. All refinement of the massive geometry had to respond to the least span required for all these functions, and that's why geometry, together with the program, is intricate part of the entire design process. I would like to start the design concept by saying that original design concepts start from the water motif, as I explained before, and we still try to relate to the stream of water coming from the sky into the Jinji Lake and the motif of pagoda, which is very prevalent symbolism of the Suzhou area. This concept also signifies the strength and cultural values of our client, Zhongnan's investment. So we have 9 zones, functional zones of the throughout the tower. Each zone is separated by mechanical and refuge areas, also with BMU located at each zone. Sorry, not at each zone, 3 times throughout the building. The first zone, together with the podium, is basically public areas, the retail, public function, the hotel function on level 7, ballrooms, restaurants, mostly public area. Podium together with the tower component, and some of the basement level generate public function. 5 minutes? 15 minutes. Anyway, second zone and third zone is office functions. Then we have 4 zones for the apartments and top 2 zones of the 7-star hotel, Ritz Hotel, with the observatory at the top. 93 elevators with several of them to be shuttle express elevators with sky lobbies and local elevators to various functions. Floor plans, basement. Typically, basement is the parking zone, 1,500 cars in the parking. However, on level 2 of the basement, we have main loading dock and transportation, tourist transportation hub going to observatory. Now, on level B1, we have major connection to the mall through our sunken garden, and under the canal and closed canal here, we're having another connection, retail, public space to another site on the left. The ground floor entry to the building is basically the plaza. Podium is lifted 20 meters up to create pedestrian plaza. And that plaza connects down to the basement public zone and up to the podium public zone. And then few slides of the podium public spaces. Retail.
公共区域的这个区房包括了。
Level 2 is actually entry to the Sky Lobby Observatory. Public spaces in the podium, and then finally the hotel functions with junior ballroom and main ballroom, and the roof, which is actually green roof with photovoltaics above. Quickly, tower office, tower residential, core is getting smaller, tower is getting smaller, finally hotel and observatory deck at level 598. MEP with BMU stored at 4 corners and eventually extending to outside. But quickly facade design, main typical, simple, elegant facade with durable materials, aluminum painted, typical designs of the facade, and then base of the tower together with the podium. Entry to the tower and podium. Podium design is based on motif of lantern, Chinese lantern. Under the podium you can see the plaza, which is with connection by escalators up and down to the upper spaces.
那这个地方下面是公共区域，这个广场可以通过电梯。
And then the last one, quickly, Pearl of Orient. That's how we call the top of the tower. Concept for that is shown here. This was the concept which was chosen to develop. We went through several various concepts for the top of the building for the crown. This concept was picked up by the German. Right now, this is where we are, and that's where we are developing. 20-meter a sphere which symbolizes Pearl of China, including inside TMD, 600-ton TMD machinery. And around that public space, final potential observatory. And some of the materials. And that's the end of my presentation.
好，就这样，谢谢。